Hi everyone. I know, how tacky, how bourgeois, but anyway, I am here today to show you how to paint. With all the craziness going on outside your walls, I thought it'd be fun to find something to do while you're in the walls instead of just looking at your phone all day long, or television, which is even worse. Instead, you turn everything off, you get yourself a little 8.5 by 11 canvas, a 2-inch brush, a 1-inch liner, a number 1 liner. This is a flat brush, number 12 flat. Okay, that's a number 12 flat. This is a number 8 round. This is a number 1 liner. This is a 2-inch flat. You don't have to have all these brushes. It makes your life easier if you do. If not, don't worry about it. Just use what you have. That's the neat thing about art. It doesn't care what you do. It's just how you do it. Doesn't care how much money you make. Doesn't what kind of neighborhood you live in. Nobody cares. Okay. This little gizmo here, I got at Jerry's Artorama. You can buy stuff online from them. They have all kinds of neat things. You can put a cup of water in it. It holds your brushes. And we're going to paint those flowers right there. I went and picked those flowers. Those are Indian paintbrush, for those of you who don't know. Everybody in Texas should know that. If they don't, they failed the test so far. You're going to dip this. First, we're going to start with this big dog, my Bob Ross special. Get it wet, and we're going to make a nice little green background. Now, I have a little paint palette right here. On this paint palette, I have your primaries. You're going to learn something today. Yellow, red, and blue. Those are the primaries. From those colors, you can make just about anything. And then I use white. I cheat. I use green. And I have brown. You don't see black, because if you mix the blue and the brown together, you get a really nice black. So anybody who's ever been in my paint-alongs, they know all about that, how I preach about that. So we're going to take and put some water. We're going to take a little bit of green. We're going to take a little bit of this yellow. And this is just easy. It's not meant to be like super hard and difficult. So don't cry. Nobody cries. Going to throw a little blue in there. It's kind of up to you. This is your painting, not mine. And then we're just going to start and go at an angle. And it's okay if it runs. And sometimes I kind of like it when it runs, because you're diluting this to the point where it looks almost like watercolor. But this is acrylic paint, by the way. Acrylic is extremely easy to use. You can clean it up easily. It's inexpensive, easy to find. So you're going to take and just do a nice little wash across this background, because what you're doing is just creating a nice little background to put these pretty little flowers on. This is easy peasy. Everybody sees a canvas and they get all freaked out. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about anything else that's going on today in your life. Nobody cares right now. You're just going to do this canvas. And you can switch directions. You can switch hands if you want. I do, but I'm weird, so. You're going to let this drip down. Another thing I do is I also paint the edges of the canvas, so when you're done, you don't have to go out and buy a super duper expensive frame. Because if you're like me, you're cheap, and you don't have a lot of money either, so that's why you're cheap. So you can do that. You don't need to frame. You can just do this. It's kind of, I think it's more interesting anyway. So what you're going to end up with is this nice little background. It's spring. The flowers are starting to bloom. They don't care what's going on. They don't care about COVID-19. They don't care about how many people you can have in your restaurant or not. They don't care about any of that. They're just like, hey, the sun's out. I've been hiding all winter. I'm here. Okay, so now we have this nice little background. You can drop some more green in there if you want, and some yellow. It's up to you, or blue. If you want to make it like sky blue, you can do that too. It's up to you. This is good for kids, for grown-ups, anyone, okay? You can darken the edges a little bit, like this. Just take this brush and kind of tap, okay? And you just kind of just do this. A light touch, people. Everybody wants to cram that brush in there. We don't want that. Just a nice light touch and gently go across. Okay? So now you have it a little darker on the edges. Okay, and if you end up dribbling paint all over the place, that's what this is for. It's a magic thing too. Okay, now we're going to take this wonderful little round brush, and since we already had this green that we made up, we're going to start doing that. We're going to take a little touch of brown. Here, I'm going to show you. I took a touch of brown and I mixed it in there. You can take a little more, because what we're going to do are some stems now. If you look at this plant, this is your plant anatomy lesson right here. Check it out. Look at what you're painting. It's always nice to have it in front of you when you paint it. If you don't, look at a photograph. It's okay. I am so tired of people saying, oh, you looked at a photograph, you're copying. No, it's reference. It's no different than doing a portrait of a person who's sitting there. It's okay. So, don't go straight up the middle. That's boring. Always come from one side or the other. Make it a little more interesting. You're just going to lightly come up and do this. And just as you're going to start down here, and it's going to run a little bit. If it starts to run, just add a little more brown. You can dab it on the paper towel so it soaks it up. Don't freak out. Remember, there's no crying. And just kind of come up like this. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop. There we go. You can make sound effects too, like old Bob Ross, because he's right. Without the sound effects, it's kind of boring. I like to listen to music when I paint, but since I'm talking to you people, I turn my music off, so you're just going to have to deal with it. And then you can kind of come in from the edge like this and do this. Okay? So what you're going to end up with is this. A bunch of weird looking little stick things. That's fine. You can put your little happy flower back. Now, we're going to take some of that yellow. Okay, don't, here you go, people. Don't freak out. I also have this highly expensive, really hard to come by paper plate, which also make great palettes for mixing paint. This I use for holding paint, this is for mixing paint, and then the center I use for mixing paint. It's so, you don't need to have gazillions of dollars to do this. So you see how it starts to run a little bit, but that's okay, because this is kind of an impressionistic little thing here. And if you don't know what impressionism is, that's okay. So you're going to take this, and you're just kind of take this little brush and go like this, and you're going to create these fun little leaves going up like this. Because if you look, and they're not all the same, they don't go all the same direction. If you look at it, see how they come up? Here we're going to take them again. See how some are long, some are short. So remember that when you're painting it. Look at what you're doing, And it's also your interpretation of whatever you're painting. Not mine, yours. So here we go. Now we have leaves. So we're going from this blank, boring little naked canvas to create something that's fun to look at. And, it doesn't have to be super gorgeous. Oh my God, it's going to go down to the art center and, that's not what it's about. Okay. Basically, now you have leaves, now you have stems. Boom. This is a super fast little painting here. I normally take about 2 hours to do a painting that's 16 by 20. When we do one of our paint-alongs, it's 3 hours, and we do a 16 by 20. This is kind of the mini version. Okay. So we're going to take some red now. We're going to take the same brush, and we're going to clean it off good too, so you don't have all that green in there. You're going to take some red. You're going to put it down here. You're going to take that yellow, and you're going to put it in there. And gosh, gee willikers, now it starts to look like. And then take a little white and throw it in there. Ooh, ah, ee. All of a sudden, look. Huh? So, I know, it's crazy that you can mix paint and it matches. It doesn't have to be exact. This is your painting. So now we're going to come up to the top here, and you're going to start out, because the tops, you notice, are darker than the edges. And you're going to do, look at that. And you're just going to lightly do this, and do this, And it's, once again, it's not all perfect and even. This one kind of comes down like this. This one kind of comes down like that. And just use the brush. The brush has got this nice little shape to it. Just kind of do this. There we go. And you're just going to keep doing that on the tops of all these. And if you want to make them bigger, smaller, once again, you're in control. It's one thing about art. It's one of the few things that you're actually in control. You don't have somebody else standing there telling you, do this, do that, no, I want it this way. No, no. It's all about you. It's like your own little world. Keep doing that. Just keep, and if you need more paint, just throw it on the canvas. Or on your extremely expensive paper plate here. You're just going to mix it like this. And you're going to kind of come up and do this. And keep doing it right over that green. Do like this. Boom, 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 boom. Take some more red, put it in there if you want it brighter. If you want it not as bright, take some white. Add some white to it. And then just kind of dab that in there like this. Once again, the light touch. Don't go crazy. Don't be a hammer hand. Don't sit there and just blob big blobs. You did a big blob like there. Oh my God, I ruined it. No, don't worry. You didn't ruin it. You just come over it like this. Okay? It'll all work out. It's okay. Just it's happy trees. No, wait. Oh. Happy leaves. These are happy petals. Just like this. And just keep doing that. And keep doing that. Just keep painting. Just keep painting. There you go down here. Here's another one. Boop, 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 boop. See, you got to do the little noises. So basically you're laying down all these fun little, and as they get closer to you, they get bigger. I know. Crazy. So these are farther away. They're going to be smaller. These are closer. They're going to be bigger. This is basic physics here. And perspective, all that good stuff. So you mix a little more paint. I'm going to throw a little more yellow in there. If it gets too pinky looking and not orangey enough, just throw a little more yellow in there. Golly gee willikers, there you have. There we go. See? So we have these, and we have these that kind of come up like this. This that comes up like this. Just, you know, look at your flower and just say, hey, okay. It's not going to look exactly the same. You've ever seen Van Gogh's paintings? Do you think they really look like sunflowers? Really? No. You look at, put a sunflower next to it and go, well, but when you look at it, you see sunflowers, right? That's what counts. It's your impression. It's what you want people to see. That's why it's called what? Impressionistic. I know. It's crazy. So, you mix it up. Keep mixing. Keep doing it. This stuff dries pretty fast, especially if you're in a room with air conditioning running. Mine is not on right now. I don't need it, so I'm not running it. So this paint will not dry as fast. The more humidity there is, the slower it dries. If you're in a air conditioned room, it's going to dry faster because it's just drier. There we go. So you just keep doing that. And then this. And then I'm going to have one that kind of comes out like this. Like this. Okay, they kind of just come out from the center, and you'll see. And then maybe like this one here, like this, kind of in a group of three. And then this one kind of comes back like this. Boom. Okay? You're not done. Don't leave. Okay, now we're going to take the same brush. We're going to clean it up. And we're going to throw some just straight white on there. You're like, what? Take some white, and we're going to throw, see how they're light down here and here? Think about that. You're going to throw a little bit here and there like this. And it's going to mix with that paint right on the canvas because it's still kind of wet. And if you have a little white or pink or red still left in your brush, it's okay. You can just add more white to it. You're going to do this, and it's going to make it look like Golly gee willikers. There we go. And then it's like in the center, it's lighter, like right here, like right here, right here, right here. Boom, 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 boom. This is just a fun painting therapy with Sue Bonnar. You know, that's pretty much it. It is kind of like, it's definitely my therapy. You know, unless you want to watch soap operas and eat chocolate, that's your other alternative. I'm not into that. Okay, so you do this. Boom, 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 boom. So now you're starting to get things that kind of sort of look like flowers. Clean your brush off again, people. Same nasty water. You can dab it on that paper towel. Now you're going to take some yellow and some white. Yellow and white are the two most intense colors that you can deal with, aside from black. But you're going to take that yellow and white, you're going to get this nice kind of pasty lemon yellow. And if you look at these dudes, they have it right in there, these little dudes up in here. So you can kind of just dab them in here. Dab, dab. This is just a real fast and easy little painting, so you can just go dab, 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 dab. Dab, dab, dab. Just a couple little dabs. And you can throw some more white in there. Some more yellow in there. If it comes out a little orangey, that's okay too. See, look at that. What? You just put it towards the ends like that. Right here. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Sound effects, once again, make it better. Oh, by the way, this isn't a brush. This is a magic wand. Just FYI. Because look, it's magic. All of a sudden, they start to look like little flowers. It's crazy. So now you're looking at this going, well, it's blobs on a canvas, or, well, it could be flowers. You know. It's up to you. You kind of throw these in here like this. Like this. Like this. Boop, 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 boop. Okay? Okay, now we're going to take that skinny little brush. If you don't have this skinny little brush, just take whatever the smallest brush you have that has a fairly long, like that. And now we're going to go back to our happy green that we had down here. And I always get paint all over myself when I do this, so it's not right unless I do. Okay. We're going to take this happy green. We're going to take some brown. We're going to mix some brown because we're going to put some little dark pieces in here. Take some more of that green. See, like this. Boom, 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 boom. Take some yellow. Boom, boom, boom. You want this not runny, but not so thick as it won't flow. You want to make it just so it almost runs. Almost. If you're one of those Bob Ross people, it's kind of like he says. It's the same thing. You just do it so where it almost runs, but not quite. Throw some more green. And then what we're going to do is, you don't want too much on there, just enough where you can get a nice line. And you're going to kind of come up and try and throw some details in here like this. Don't do one big sweeping boom all the way across it. Really, no. First of all, anything that's just one big in the center is boring. You want it to come up like this, like that. Okay? Just kind of give it some shadow, some definition here and there. Boom. Like this. Here's a little here. And then you can mix a little more yellow in with it and green. And maybe even some white. So you can make some little leaves that kind of come off like this. Look at that. Not all over, just here and there. Okay? Like this. And then where we go. Boop, 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 boop. And you can make it go over the petals of your flowers. It'll make it look 3D. Okay, I know. So, it's high tech. I'm all over high tech. Just boom, boom. I do a lot of boom, boom. So here we go. More leaves. Boom. More leaves coming up. There's one kind of coming over here, and they can kind of curve. Once again, light touch.